This is ShortyLynnChaos, and you're watching Ward of the Woods.
Oh, welcome back to How to Botania. Alright, so today we are continuing on with the basics of Botania. And just a heads up, the wand I'm using is not from Botania, it just has a really cool effect, so I figured I'd just show it off for you guys. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that. In case you're wondering, it's from Reliquary, which I personally do not know how to use, I'll have to look it up. Alright. Okay, today we're going to learn about how to make a mana pool and how mana pools work, how to make a mana spreader and how mana spreaders work, the Wander the Forest and how useful that can be, and about dayblooms, nightshades, and hydrangeas, which we're going to call hydras for short just because the name is kind of confusing for me. Alright, so all three of these flowers in the newer version of Botania that I've been aware of are passive flowers, which means after 3 Minecraft days, they kind of wilt and die off and turn into dry bushes. So unless you're playing a younger version of Botania, you'll have to figure out how to make a better type of flower that will not just dry up on you and stop working, which I'll get to that later and I'll show you how to make other flowers as well, but these are the most basic flowers right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to it. So, first thing we need to do is make our mana pool. Let's remember where to find that. Now, it wants me to actually look it up. Lovely! Alright, so Alright, so here's your mana pool. Mana pool is basically where you store any mana. Without mana, you can barely do anything in Botania. Alright, so you can go ahead and read through this if you want. Go ahead and pause the video if you want to read it. Alright, so to make a mana pool, or to make a diluted mana pool, we need some living rock. Alright, so we made some living rock in the last one. I collected it up. As you can see, I also collected a bunch of the petals, got some seeds, organized it. I'm kind of a bit picky about the order that my petals are in, and I like them to be in rainbow color just because they make me feel better. So there's that. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab some living rock and make us a basic diluted mana pool, which we're going to need 2 of these, by the way. Okay, so there's that diluted mana pool. Alright, to make a mana pool, we have to drop a diluted mana pool into another diluted mana pool that has some mana in it to make the actual mana pool. Alright. Go ahead and read these and... oh, we're not there yet. Alright, so let's go ahead... oops, I can't spell, can I? And get on to the mana spreader. Alright, mana spreader is how you get mana from your flowers to your mana pool. Without the mana spreaders, there is literally no way to make mana go into the mana pool. Alright. So, go ahead and read those on your own time if you'd like. I do not know how to use the redstone mana spreader, but I probably will be looking into it. Alright, so we need 6 living wood and 1 gold ingot and a petal of any color. Alright, so let's grab us some living wood. Go ahead and drop the rest of those back in there. And grab our gold ingot. And grab us a petal. Alright, let's go, oops, let's go ahead and make that right there. Gold ingot. Living wood. And our petal. Alright, and just like that, we have a mana spreader. We don't have to do anything extra like with the diluted mana pools. So let's go ahead and drop our stuff back in. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Okay. And drop the rest of those in there. Okay, and then we'll just set this up right here for now. See how it has an X right there? It means I can't drop this diluted mana pool into it because there isn't enough mana to turn it into a mana pool. Alright, and then we'll put the mana spreader on top. Now, look at the way the mana spreader is facing. It's kind of sort of facing this way. Is that going to take it to the mana, or diluted mana pool? Nope. Alright, so the next thing we need to make is our Wand of the Forest. Alright, so let's go ahead and look that up for you. Just right here. Alright, Wand of the Forest is one of the ways that you can either check how much mana is in your mana pool or your mana spreader, or use it to move the mana spreader so that mana goes into the pool. Whoops, I went back instead. I apologize. Alright, so I'll tell you about bind mode and function mode in a moment. Oh, I did not know that clicking the top of the chest will make it rotate. That's kind of cool. Alright, so we need living wood twigs, 3 of them, and any petals of any color. So I need to get 6 living wood. Again. Let's go ahead and do that. I think it should make more twigs than that, but that's just my opinion. Okay, and then we need petals again. Let's do cyan. And let's make ourselves a Wand of the Forest. Alright, and just like that, we have a Wand of the Forest. Alright. Now, right now it's in function mode. So that means whatever way I'm pointing is the way to go. Oh, something else that it'll do is while you're holding the Wand of the Forest, it'll show you which direction the mana spreaders are shooting, which is really useful. Alright, now, if you go off to the side, not pointing at anything, and right-click while shifting, you'll put it in bind mode. Now, when I right-shift-click again, right-click on my mana spreader, and then click it down on my pool, now you can see that's actually pointing towards the pool. Okay, obviously there's nothing in there. Okay, so next thing we need to do, okay, another thing I should mention is it can make it do this, where now it's accepting the mana from the mana spreader, and now it'll give mana to specific items, which we'll go over in a later video. Alright, okay, Daybloom and Nightshade are both not going to work in here, so let's go ahead and go outside and go up to this little tower I made that I'm going to show you how this works. Alright, so, oops, I need to do this off to the side first, don't I? And, well, first I need to do this, and then this, and this. Get rid of you, replace you. First I need to place it there. Okay, cool. Now we're good. Let's go ahead and get rid of the dirt. Okay, so next thing we need to make... Hi, zombie. Why are there zombies? Why are there I literally disappear for maybe 30 seconds and all of the mobs appear. This thing kills you point blank in the freaking game when you're not in creative, so thank goodness for creative. I don't know what's going on with these mobs. Ugh. Okay. So next thing we need to do is make ourselves a Daybloom, which is the second flower that you make in the game. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to generating flora and go to Daybloom. Alright, Daybloom flowers make mana through sunlight. So, another thing to mention about the Dayblooms and Nightshades, if you put them like this, they compete for the sunlight, kind of like how solar panels work. But if you space them out and put them diagonal to each other, they'll create more mana. Not necessarily a lot of mana, just some mana, which is good for starting off. Alright, so we need 2 yellow petals, an orange petal, and a light blue petal. So, yellow, orange, and light blue. Alright. Nope, we also need seeds. Let's grab one of those. Alright, so as always, we need to put water in our petal apothecary. And then we need to drop 2 yellow, 1 orange, 1 light blue, Alright, and we have our day bloom. Okay, so let's get a reverse spreader for now. Okay. Next thing we need to make is the nightshade. Which should be right there. Alright, nightshade works exactly like the day bloom, only it makes mana from nighttime. So we need 2 black petals, a purple petal, and a gray petal. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw you guys up here for now. And we need black, purple, gray. Okay, so fill you with water, and black, purple, gray. Alright, and just like that we have our nightshade. Okay, let's throw you guys up there again. Will you all just get out of my little house? Do you really... All of this glimmering dreamwood is literally light. How did you guys spawn? Ah! Okay, so let's go ahead and toss that back. Put that back in there. Alright, let's go ahead and set up on the tower. Okay. So, as stated before, these need to be diagonal to each other, otherwise they won't work. Here, see how it's competing? You can literally see it competing with the Wand of the Forest. Okay. And now they're done. Okay. Just setting up some day blooms around the mana spreader. Which case, I'm in creative, so you'll have to physically make these yourself. Which is not hard as long as you can get the petals. It's not so fun unless you get the petals. Oh, looks like it's turning nighttime, so let's go ahead and place some nightshades down. Are we getting any mana yet? A little bit. Alright, let's place those nightshades down. Oops. Oh! There it goes. It just made its first mana. Okay, as you can see, this is building up. Usually when it reaches about to the first part, it'll send the mana through. Or halfway, okay. Alright, can we drop our mana pools yet? We can. Oh! I apparently used up all my 1 mana for that, which is fine. We're in creative. We just need the 1 mana pool. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring our mana spreader back because I'm gonna need to fix this. Okay, place our mana pool. Place our mana spreader. Place mana spreader down. It only works if it is literally if it's lit up. And the mana spreader will tell you where it's connected to, or if it's connected at all. Okay, so while that's going, oh goodness, there's an Isaac over there. That's kind of terrifying. In case you don't know what an Isaac is, it's from the Binding of Isaac game. He will literally throw tears at you, and then aw, he's not gonna throw tears at me because I'm in creative, and I'm not gonna switch and die. Anyways, he'll throw tears at you, just like in the game. Then when you kill him, he goes in another form, where he'll throw blood tears, and then when you kill him again, his head and his body will go after you separately. Will you all stop appearing in here? I'm gonna have to light it up. Ugh. Alright. So now that we've gone over that, next thing we need to make... It literally spawned right next to a glowy spot. I give up. Okay. Anyways, next thing we need to make is a hydrangea. Again, I'm just going to call them hydros for short because the name is really hard for me. Alright. So, hydros make make mana from water. They will not, and I repeat, they will not make mana from water that is moving. They will only make it from, excuse me. They only make water from source blocks or non-moving water. Now, the water literally has to be a source block, or it'll eat it up, and then it'll make everything else, all the water around it, disappear. Alright, so it says to do it 3x3. I usually do 2x2 because 2x2 is shorter. And why is that living armor coming back in here? Anyways, but yeah, so here's the recipe. Ooh, here's something new that we haven't talked about yet. Mana petals. Alright, so we need 3 cyan petals, and I'll show you what those mana petals are in a moment. Blue petals, and pink. Do I have any of these colors yet? I need cyan, blue, and pink. Alright, let's do this. Cyan, blue, and pink. Alright, let's go. Oh, I need seeds, don't I? Yes, I do. Move, creeper. Alright, how's our mana pool doing? Pretty good. Oh. I just keep messing this up, don't I? Alright. So, before I continue, I'm going to make this slightly easier on myself real fast. I'm going to place a mana pool directly underneath, or a mana spreader directly underneath the mana pool, and when a mana spreader is directly connected to a mana pool, it will transfer the mana from that pool to wherever you need it to go, which in this case is another mana pool, because I'm going to need to do stuff. So as you can see, it's currently transferring all the mana it's already collected from the Nightshade and putting it into this pool. There it goes. Alright. Go ahead and put those back again. I honestly have no idea what that popping noise was. Okay, and I think an Enderman stole my dirt. It's looking like an Enderman stole my dirt. Okay. Go away, mobs. Nobody likes you. Okay. So we need to make oh yeah, duh. I needed to make mana petals, didn't I? Alright, I believe I need to make a blue mana petal and a cyan mana petal. That's what that was about. Okay. That's why I went through all that trouble. I forgot. Alright, check mark means we can do it. Alright, let's go make it. Alright, we got our water bucket. Remember, you always need water. Alright, let's drop in our petals that we need. Oh, I need you. Come back. Thank you. One of you. One of you. One of you. No? Oh, I missed a cyan petal. Whoopsies. Now we're good. Alright, now we got our hydro. Okay, so let's quickly explain how the hydros work. I'll just use some dirt real fast. Alright, so let's set up a 2x2 area. Alright, as you can see, the inside is 2x2. We're going to fill that up with all 4 corners are going to be source blocks. I don't care if it doesn't look like it. They all need to be. We're going to set up hydros, just to show you how it works. Alright, you can probably hear them working. And as you can see, they are continuously getting mana. Now, in the earlier versions, this is the #1 way to get people to get mana quickly, if people would make literal towers out of them. So, I'm going to show you how to make a hydro tower, which is underneath where I put those day blooms and nightshades. Alright, so the next thing we need to do probably gonna need to make another hydro, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Actually, let's just go place these real fast. Alright, so let's place these on all the bottom levels. And just as a heads up, the way I have this tower set up is one of my personal ideal favorites on how to do this. Again, for an earlier version of Botania, not for the later versions. Okay. That's set up. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. We need to grow, or we need to get some grass, which I forgot to get. Okay, so let's grab a grass. And then we need some glowstone. 2 pieces, I believe. And a piece of dirt. Okay, so let's go ahead and yeah. We are going to make ourselves a floating flower. So let's go ahead and look that up. Ew. Yeah, glimmering flowers, there we go. We need to make glimmering flowers first. Which there is a difference between the mystical flowers and the glimmering flowers. The glimmering flowers will allow you to make this, a floating flower. Which I'll show you exactly what that's used for in a moment. Whereas the mystical flower is just what you find out in the wild. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a pasture seed. Which it should work. Ah, it does. Did I get it? I got it. Okay. And we need to grab ourselves a mystical flower, which I do not have. There we go. Any mystical flower works. It doesn't matter what. Okay, so let's make ourselves the mystical flower. Our glimmering flower, there we go. Alright, we got all 3 pieces, so let's go ahead and make it. Alright, and just like that, we have ourselves a floating light blue flower. Let me show you these real fast. I don't want to accidentally destroy it and have to make it again. But just like that, as you can tell, they literally float in the air. Oh, another thing I should mention as well, is they are a tiny bit of a light source. Which, if it was dark enough, I would show you. Let's find a dark area. See? Lit it up a little bit. And they're good for Thaumcraft as well, because they'll help to make the altar stable in certain mod packs. Alright. Next thing we need to do is combine the floaty flower and the hydros and make a floating hydro. Alright. And then we're just going to place the floating hydros above the hydros themselves, and there we go. Uh-oh, wrong spot. That's not gonna work. Oh my goodness, why do you keep going in the wrong spot? Alright, so we gotta set up for that tower. So next thing I need to do is put a couple mana spreaders down, because I believe these guys are getting full, and yep, they have nowhere for the mana to go. Alright, so let's go ahead and set this up. Now for the fun part. Is it actually working? I don't think it's actually working. No, it's not. Okay. Let's take out the area around it real fast. I'll have to replace that myself. And let's go ahead and try that again. There it goes. Alright, and another thing, really. Alright, another thing I should mention is you can look at the different types of flowers that you have set up, and whichever mana spreader is lit up is where that mana is going. As you can see, it's going to the nearest one. For some reason, these are going to the farthest one. I have no idea. That's just how it's set up sometimes. Alright, so that's it for this episode. So if you folks have any questions on how to Botania, or if you'd like me to clarify a few things, you're more than welcome to ask. If you like what you see, go ahead and like the video, comment below, or subscribe to see some more of our videos. The How to Botania videos will be uploaded every Saturday, every 2 weeks. I am starting a new schedule so that I can get out videos easier to you guys and you know which days are coming up. As usual, my husband and I post back and forth. So you folks are more than welcome to check us out. And y'all have a nice night.